Awesome.
Well, welcome. We appreciate your information.
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to start. The main focus today is going to be on the marketing piece because we know, especially because of the pandemic, there's been it's been an interesting time for so many people, small or large companies. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. So as Tony mentioned, I've been doing consulting companies in America and abroad for many years, and partly because I think to the degree that businesses can actually grow and succeed, it blends over into the community, and everybody can be a stronger community as a result of success. So I want to go over a couple points that might be valuable, and then I'll go over and turn it over to Cebron. Every day in America, and this is true other parts of the world as well, 17 to 1,900 small businesses start, 1 to 100 employees. Some of you are looking at starting a business. Over a 5-year period of time, 80% of those businesses are actually out of business. You may have heard this statistic before. Raise your hand or thumbs up if you've heard that statistic before. Okay, so right off the bat, it's a bit startling. You go, well, what the heck? Now, I've worked with people, doctors, lawyers, manufacturing plants all over the world, and I've worked with some extremely intelligent people. But in the way of running their company, oftentimes they are very skilled at one thing, but they aren't necessarily skilled at actually running a company. They're not used to being the chief, quote unquote, the chief executive officer in regards to directing their activities. So when you back up, one of the ruins of most companies, as you begin to build your company, one of the areas of difficulty is finding the right teammates. Raise your hand if you've had difficulty sometimes finding the right teammate that really embrace your purpose and help you.
There's 5 fingers. Multiple times.
Right. Well, I many years ago, I was in New York City with for Fortune 500 company, and I spent the first 2 hours walking around and just looking at the staff, looking and watching the execs, watching how they performed or didn't perform. And I broke down that observation into the following. And I found teammates in these 3 categories. 1, players, people that really are passionate about your game, about your purpose. And then I labeled the next group called pieces. So we got players who are really on board with you, absolutely. Then you have pieces that are not bad people, they're mainly there for a paycheck. Have you ever had a teammate that you knew was not a player, but was basically a piece?
Oh, how many
Yeah.
over the years?
Yeah. And then you have a broken piece. And a broken piece is that piece that can sometimes even look like a player, but they're there for their own purpose. They're there selfishly. They're there.
Sometimes, I don't know you guys, but sometimes what happened to me was somebody that's, think to be a partner didn't have any corporate or business experience. And then they think they were some kind of employee, okay? Not an owner. So they didn't behave like they owned the company. They behaved like they were getting paid for, a salary for doing their job and, not thinking about entrepreneurs like I do or, the ones we have our mindset, right?
Right, yeah. Yeah, so you have this, and what I find, if I work with a company, if they hire my company to consult them, we put a policy in starting at that point that they cannot hire anybody unless they go through the process of what I do or what my consultants do in regards to looking at the individual above and beyond the resume, really address what kind of a teammate that person can be, because it's so crucial. The amount of money you can lose by hiring the wrong people is astounding. So just as a point, when you start growing your company, Cebron, you want to go to the next slide? I'm not sure if, or Tony, I'm not sure who's got the goods here, but, oh, okay, so we'll just stay. So every one of you actually has one or more purposes, and it's very, I find it's very key to connect to your purpose, your drive, your ambition. Why are you doing what you're doing? And then make sure you connect that to, as you add teammates, so that you're going down the road with a common heart, the common purpose, and you then build from there. I created a film, you'll see it on our website, called Emotions in the Workplace, tied into how important it is your purpose, and then make sure you tie the individuals that you're going to bring into your company to that purpose, and keep reminded of what you're doing and why you're doing it, which is very important. I'm sure every one of you here have a good reason why you're doing what you're doing, or if you're just beginning, really digest that, write it out. At the end of this talk, I'm going to invite every one of you to do an executive business analysis. It's 100 questions. I think Oliver did this once before, but it's 100 questions, and it's like going to the doctor and getting an x-ray, and this is going to be an x-ray of your organization. It addresses the executive, human resources, sales, finance, service, quality control.
Lost it.
What's that? So it'll be, it takes about 15 to 20 minutes, but I think you'll find it's a complementary analysis just to give you an exterior perspective of how you look at your company, and suggested areas on how we can tweak it and just help you go down that road and really achieve your purpose and succeed. So we welcome you to do that at the end, and that'll be after Cebron gives you an overview of marketing and give you some tools that I think you'll find quite helpful on reaching out and getting more customers and more clients. All right?
Fantastic.
Okay, so Cebron, we're going to turn it over to you, my friend, and I really can't believe Cebron is 50 years old. I mean, he's my son, but he's got really by 25, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
so
right.
over to you.
Thank you very much. All right. Hey guys, so this is great. What I'm going to do is I have some slides, and I'll get into the slides, but I really want to share my experience as well, just because I'm working with small business owners, practice owners every single day, having the conversations.
Cebron, do you want to unshare the screen?
Unshare the screen? No.
Yeah, I'm still on. There you.
Well, no, I know. I'll get this is yeah.
Okay,
here's the beginning of
sorry.
mine.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but as I go through this, I'll probably jump away from the slides time and again, because I'm going to share experiences, because it's just an everyday activity for me. This is what I do, running my agency, Walker Creative, every day with clients. And so I find that it's really helpful to give you examples of what's happening sort of in real time, so to speak, with companies, because things change so much when you're doing online marketing, and what's working might just start really working well now, or Facebook might change something about the way their algorithm works. And so we find what's working best right now. So I'm just going to go through the slides and share some of that as we go. So first off, I noticed, I can see in this thing here, I have this stack of books, and I read all these books, but we all hopefully get a chance to read. Reading is really important. And this is the last book I read, Built to Last. And it's Successful Habits of Visionary Companies. It's interesting. It's not the best book for us, but I would say the best book for small business owners. The ones that I've felt have been really great to read for, I think, everybody here is This is Marketing. Great book to read, to get your hands on. And another great book to read for us as small business owners is this one, Building a Story Brand. And Don Miller has a great YouTube channel as well. His tips and education, very helpful to a small business owner. So 2 great books to get your hands on as we go through this. The thing that I would say as a small business owner getting going is you got to have a website. And there's always been questions as we've gone along, especially in the last couple of years, do you really need a website? With the pandemic having happened, everybody realized you got to be online and have your presence online more than ever. And it's not going to change now at this point. People are used to working from home. They're used to being at home more and using their computers to find information, to look at reviews about companies and information about companies. Having your own website lets you control the narrative. It lets you control the conversation and talk about yourself the way you want to talk about. It doesn't mean they're not going to go off and look at third-party endorsements through reviews, because they probably will. And that's something good to have your attention on. Primarily Google reviews, then Facebook reviews, and if you're like a restaurant or something like that, Yelp. But if you're not a restaurant, Google reviews, and then second to that, Facebook. But you got to have this website, and websites can be anywhere from super cheap and like you can have a Google My Business page, which is on the bottom left of the screen here. You have Google My Business, and you can set up a Google My Business page, which you have to do no matter what. It's a free Google profile. Set that up with lots of pictures and information about who you are, and that is your sort of primary #1 location on the internet, is your information on the Google platform. From there, you actually can build a free website right there within your Google My Business profile. And it takes you one step at a time through how to do that, drag and drop pictures and do that. So if you have no budget, that's the first thing you've got to do. If you have some budget, you can go to something like Squarespace or Wix, and the website right there in the middle with Exotic Plants is a Squarespace website built for probably the largest and most successful indoor plant company in Sacramento, California. And we built that Squarespace website for them. It's working very well. And it's a great platform. It's $24 a month, and you can build a great website. You can drag and drop and build it yourself, or you can hire somebody on Upwork or Fiverr to build the website for you if you're not ready to hire an agency to do it. And you can get it done pretty inexpensively to have a great website. And again, it's like $24 a month to subscribe to that platform to have that service. And then once you go up from there, you have WordPress, and then up from there would be a completely customized built website. But none of us are going to be talking about that. A great platform to use is WordPress. It's going to cost you anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 to build a good WordPress website with all the pages you want to share information about you. But you got to have a website, and it's going to probably be one of these choices. All of my clients, well, let's say 80% of my clients have a WordPress website that we built for them, or that we've SEO optimized for them for their industry. And about 10% have probably a Squarespace website, and then the other 10% already had a website that we fixed. So once you've got the website, you've got to build more and more communication, build more connection through engagement and trust. This client is a dentist in Las Vegas, Nevada, Christensen Dental. And you can see on the graph, we started with them and their income was under $1 million. And we built their website for them, great, simple WordPress website. We took over their social media, did some Google advertising, made them a couple $100,000 in the second year, and then jumped it up again in the third year. And I just wanted to share that from the perspective of you got to start. That's 3 years of work, but you got to start. And the first place you start is a good website. And then you start building social media. Then you start doing maybe some YouTube videos. Then you start maybe doing some pay-per-click advertising, like Google search advertising or Facebook advertising. And no doubt some of this can get technical and can go above, you're the business owner. So it's like, this is where you have to start talking to someone who knows marketing, who can start doing it for you. But there's a process, and don't be backed off from just starting. And as we go through this, I'll show you several ways of just starting. So once you have that, and I don't want you to feel like you obviously can't do anything until you have a website. Everybody can have a Facebook business page. You have a Facebook profile of your own, your personal page, and you can share business stuff on your personal page. That's fine. But once you're going to start promoting your business, you then set up a sub page to your personal page called your Facebook business page. Get that all filled out. You can post videos straight to it. You can post pictures to it. You want your Facebook business page to be real, to be authentic, be you, who you are. Because doing business with you is not a smiling, perfect picture of a pretty girl or a pretty guy doing a perfect thing. It's real life. So with all of my clients, many times they've, like, let's say they're dental offices. We have a lot of dental offices, a lot of veterinary offices. And with a dental office, you have the classic perfect, pretty girl with perfect teeth. It's useless in marketing, especially today. Because we've all seen it a million times. So you want to have, you want to use these devices we've got, and like this McDonough Orthodontics. Okay, they're a great big orthodontist practice in Salt Lake City. He took selfie pictures of himself getting a haircut. What the heck? An orthodontist getting a haircut? Like, it makes no sense. It makes tons of sense. Look at 338 people reach, 73 engagements. And they all talked about how he got a great haircut because this was during the pandemic. You couldn't go get a haircut and his hair got long, and people were telling him, hey, doctor, your hair's getting long. And it was a very funny thing, and everybody started talking about it. So he went and got a haircut and featured that on his Facebook page, got tons of engagement. This other one is a veterinary practice in Iowa, and she just posted, I think this is a birthday party for the doctor, and she then someone went and bought her a vanilla latte at the local coffee store. That has nothing to do with veterinarian work, but it got over 1,000 people reached and 250 engagements because she took a picture of balloons that were brought to her and a coffee someone bought to her. Because it's real, it's community, it's honest. So you have to nurture relationships, and that's what you do with your social pages, your Facebook, your Instagram, is you be real with your community, especially if your business is community oriented. If it's national, you have to think of it a bit differently, because it's not going to necessarily, they're not going to know the local taco shop that you might have had lunch at, that you tag in a Facebook post if you're having tacos at, Casitas Tacos on 4th Street. If you're a local business, that's awesome, because you tag them in the post, you eating tacos there, they see it, they share it on their feed. So now you get all their people, seeing the post and realizing you're a local blah. You're a local dentist, you're a local insurance agent, you're a local real estate agent, you're a local IT professional that fixes computers in Mesa, Arizona, and you eat tacos every second day at Casitas Tacos on 4th. It starts connecting you with the community. The other one is some kind of holiday thing. Here, I had to move you guys out of my picture. Yeah, they did a food drive. So this is another vet practice in Illinois. They did a food drive for Christmas, and they gathered stuff for, I think this was families in need. They did great. They posted video, and they actually did live Facebook. So they did a selfie video. So they'd like live on Facebook. They talked for like 8 minutes about all the different stuff they got and who gave it to them and all this stuff, as well as the picture here. 126 engagements just for that picture. Over 1,600 people reached. And it has nothing to do with fixing dogs and cats. Another one here. This is another veterinarian in Seattle, a client of ours. And so she was on a YouTube like vlog podcast with another professional, invited her on. Great thing to do is to connect with like-minded people in your industry, can be in other cities, get yourself on shows with them or do a show with them. And then you suddenly have a YouTube video where you guys are chatting back and forth about, IT work, about real estate, about insurance, about small business entrepreneurship, about the stuff you're doing in your, the work with women to help them with their pets or fixing their cars. And you do this and you get it on YouTube, and then you can share it on your Facebook page. Great thing to do. And many of you probably know this, but Instagram is a bit of a pain in that regard because you can't share links on Instagram. You can share a photo and say what you did, but you can't link to anything. But Facebook is fantastic for that. And for the majority of us, Facebook is going to be your best bet because there's so many tools within Facebook, and it is the elephant in the room. 2 billion people are on it, or maybe even close to 3 billion now. So everybody's on Facebook. And so it is where you can reach a lot of people. As you get into the younger audiences, of course, you have Instagram and then TikTok. We don't do any work at Walker Creative on TikTok. It's just, I don't want to bother getting into it. All right. And this is paid media. So next level, of course, is you can pay for traffic. And you can pay for Google search, really good for a local business, smaller communities, really great to do. For big cities and for national offices, this is going to be tough because it's going to get really expensive if you're shooting out broadly. But if you are a small business that wants to get business around you, let's say you have a 25-mile radius or even a 50-mile radius, doing ads for Google search ads, which you can really get in tight with geo-targeting, demographic targeting, and you can actually do very well if someone is searching for blah near them. Really great for a small business, and it doesn't cost you a lot. You could spend $3 a day on Google search advertising. Similarly with Facebook, local businesses can do really good with that. It's gonna be difficult just because of cost prohibitive for national businesses if you're trying to hit a national market. Just there's no way around that. All right, and so more on Facebook. This is a dental ad. I just wanted to show this because we did an ad, and it's a. Was there a question there?
No, sorry, I was just looking at the picture. I was the dog, the teeth. I was like, wow.
Yeah, so that's a dental ad, and it's a picture of the dog with messed up teeth, and then after the dental work, before and after with his vet practice. And so we created this ad, which is like a carousel ad, so they can swipe through and see, and every picture has a learn more button attached to it, and they can say the small animals, large animals, blah, blah, blah. So it's a really great ad. But what was interesting about this is the ad itself, besides the, getting paid traffic and only having to pay for what people click on, which then takes them to the veterinary website, is that the ad itself, because they were so good at their organic Facebook work, and they were doing, 3 times a week, they were posting photos of what's going on in the practice, or not live videos, but taking video of showing new puppies that just were born or something. And a vet practice is always got the advantage because puppies and kittens is incredible. So they have an advantage. Everybody likes puppies and kittens on the internet. So that, that's good for them. But what's neat about this ad, because they had all that previous organic work done, is that the ad itself got tons of engagement organically. So if you look at all these comments down the side here, these are comments and back and forth, and their clients saying how awesome they are as a vet practice to an ad. I mean, it's crazy. You don't expect that, where an ad itself is being viewed almost like it's organic. So we're getting the value of both sides of the paid traffic and organic traffic. But that's an example of spending the time, and it's none of the internet. Internet success is it's only overnight success because you suddenly see them when they become successful. But there's probably 5 years of work and blood, sweat, and tears behind that made that overnight success successful. I know you know that. And more examples of how you fill in all the information about you on your business page. And this is actually funny because we of course do websites, but a client of ours is a website building company in Vancouver, Canada, Grapham, and they have over 14,000 followers on their Facebook page. And it's because we ran a campaign over many and many months for not a lot of cost to get them followers. So you can run a followers campaign on Facebook that doesn't necessarily need to cost you a lot, maybe a few $100 a month that you invest in it, that can get you a lot of attention on your Facebook page and just get a lot of followers. So then when you're posting, you're getting a higher percentage of people engaging with you. And when you break certain numbers, like when you break the 10,000 followers mark, the Facebook algorithm is actually built to start leveraging your posts, and more people will see your posts and more people will see your ads, irregardless of how much you're spending at that point. So it's just, good to keep going and know that you're getting there. Okay, so I just pushed play on this. I didn't even mean to, but this is just a little simple ad where we used a software called Animoto. I think a subscription to Animoto. It's a video software where you can make little slideshow videos, and we call it kinetic typography, moving text. And it's like $12.99 a month. It's not expensive. And it gives you this ability to create simple, cool little videos for Facebook, for Instagram, and even for YouTube. And so we created an ad using this Animoto software, which just kept pushing the buttons of their target audience of pain, inflammation, joint pain. And so you can run organic and ads. They're like little videos like this. Gets a lot of attention. I'll just share now, like I had a conversation with a veterinarian yesterday, and so she wasn't doing blogs, and I was telling her, look, doctor, we got to start doing more blogs, and we'll edit them for her. We'll do all the work for her, but she needs to come up with the idea because she's a very specialized veterinary doctor that handles pets or dogs with joint problems. So she hadn't written a blog in 3 months, and I'm like, we need to figure this out because I need that content from you, because new content on your website is good for SEO. We fill it with keywords that or what people are looking for. We get that content on your website. Google recognizes that you're adding new content to your website. They put that out there, and you start getting the benefits of more and more content on your website. It's very important to not only have a website, but add to it once a month, add a page to it. That can be done with the blog. But once you have a blog, you can then share that on Facebook. You can send out an email to your entire email list for free on MailChimp up to, I think it's 1,000 or maybe even 2,000 actually. I don't know the latest with MailChimp, but I think you can have up to 2,000 people on your mailing list, and you can have an account for free. So you do a new blog, put it on your website, share it to Facebook, send it out in an email as education to your client list on MailChimp, send that out for free. Post it on Instagram as well. And let's say you even did a video about that subject, post that to YouTube, or even flip it around and do it a different way. Get in front of a camera, just like I am right now with a light on the other side of the camera, and record yourself talking about whatever it is. And take note of this. Like, how do I come up with what to talk about for a video? Well, state a problem. Like, what is a question that a client of yours asks you? Let's say I'm a real estate agent. What's one of the best ways to get a better sale on my house if I want to sell my house? Well, curb appeal. Okay, so how do I improve my curb appeal? That's the question. So start out the video. Like, that's the problem that someone's trying to solve. How do I sell my house and get more money for it? So you just literally go, a lot of my clients tend to ask me, what's the best thing to do if I'm trying to sell my house to get more money for it? And I say, improve your curb appeal. Well, how do you do that? So number one is what problem are they trying to solve? Number two is how do you solve it? So, well, the way you solve that is you do this, this, and this, get the lawn mowed, put up some bushes, put some flowers in front of your house, da, 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 da. So you tell them how to solve it. Now, where do they go to get help with this? So if you want to sell your house, then you can give me a call, or you can go to my website, blah, 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 blah. I will for free meet with you how to improve your curb appeal, how to do this and this and this. So it's just 3 parts of your video: getting in front of a camera and then going problem, solution, where to go to get that solution. So if you keep that in mind, you can start getting yourself going on video by just doing those 3 things in front of a camera. Then you upload that to YouTube, then you transcribe it and make it a blog, and then you share that not only on YouTube, but then share it on Facebook, put it on your website, send it out in an email on MailChimp for free, and even put that video right into your MailChimp email. And you can start repurposing content and getting it used all over the internet. And beyond the cost of the, building your website, all these things are free, right? So you can start getting a lot of communication out to your target audience and getting engagement back and having them talk to you. And then they go, well, you obviously know what you're talking about. Last year, I've seen 12 different videos from you and posts all over Facebook. You must be a professional in this. Let me talk to you about this subject. So that's how you get yourself going. And so in the conversation with this veterinary doctor on Friday, I said, look, this is why this has to happen. This isn't a nice to have. As a business owner, you have to communicate. You have to start doing these things. So as your marketing agency, I'm going to sort of kick your butt a little bit to get this done. So get in front of a video camera this week and shoot that video about, and she was talking about this, this thing that came up with a client and how she solved it and how it was an amazing solution and how it really helped their dog. So I said, get in front of a camera, tell us that story and how it solved their problem. Then I'm going to transcribe it and we're going to put it on your website, and then we're going to get it out all over the place, and we're going to share the story. And that's going to tell everybody how more and more how much of a great doctor she is for that problem. All right. Does that help?
Absolutely. That's amazing.
Okay.
I have a question about, I use mail. I'm taking a digital marketing course, and you can use MailChimp, but when I was using it, it said you just had to have people that were subscribers, because I have a whole list of clients I can contact that was given to me, but I can't make use of it through MailChimp because they're not subscribed. Any ideas? Am I doing something wrong?
From my understanding, unless something changed, and James, I don't do it with my own fingers anymore. I have staff that are building out those lists, but I thought when I did it, you just go into MailChimp and you can add subscribers. Actually, no, I just added subscribers. I added subscribers, but they're just added emails. Actually, to be honest, I might have even added you to my MailChimp list because I think you were on a webinar with me two months ago. And I just took the email that you added to the chat form here, and I just added you to my MailChimp list. So I'm sure you can just go add, I don't know the name, it's like a button that says add subscriber, and you can just add it. Was it not letting you?
Well, some of the course material that I take on Udemy, some of it is a little bit outdated, but
Oh, they're just, okay, that's different. They're just trying to make you feel bad because they're saying, no, if they don't, with their own effort, subscribe to you, you're not allowed to email them. Sure, that's the best kind of way to go. It's like, because they've opted in personally to say, I want your content. But what if you have their business card that someone gave you and they never digitally opted in, but you know that it's okay
right,
that they hear from you? Well, that's okay. That's fine. That's honest enough. So just add them in, but you have to add them in manually.
okay, yeah, I didn't know, because it said the way that it was posted to me was that essentially they had to sign up, just like you said, on your website. Then you could contact them. I'm going to revisit that. I am. That changes the whole thing.
No, yeah, I mean, that's true. They can do it that way, and that's a great way for it to work, but that's a lot of effort because you have to like sort of backtrack and figure out your whole campaign process to get people to opt in. But if you have a stack of cards or a stack of emails that you've gathered from friends and family and maybe an event you went to from the last 2 years. Stick all those names into your MailChimp account right now.
Can you just send people out emails like just through a regular email client? Or I hear that'll be a problem sometimes. It's not as effective as MailChimp.
You know, email is one of the most effective in return. It's one of the most effective ways to market, but that effectiveness has to do with how well your email is put together, that it's really a email that's going to help that person. If you know, they're a person, you know, and this is sort of a stupid thing to say even, but if they're a person that's interested in scuba diving and that's their hobby, and then you write them about, you know, cake making,
Right.
you know, yes, they're an email name that you have, but it's no use sending it. And at that point, it's spam. At that point, it's dumb email, right? So it's got to be smart. It's got to make sense. If it makes sense, then it's okay. If it's something that person will help that person. I mean, it's back to what Ron was saying about purpose. If your purpose is to help this consumer solve a problem that you at least think they may have, like if Chris wants to sell someone whole life insurance because he knows it's valuable for someone down the line in their long term, then he's going to send out an email that shows he cares, that he's authentic, that he really wants to make sure they're set up in their later years for themselves and their legacy. Then he's going to write a good email that makes sense. It's not going to be spam.
Thank you for that input.
Right. Okay. Let's keep going and see if any of my other slides make sense. Okay. All right. So this is my slide here was just video. And I've talked a little bit about video already, but why is video so effective? Well, it builds connection, and then it builds the communication, and it builds trust. And, you know, in the old world, before we had video and the internet, you had to shake hands with a person and set up a meeting or meet them at a conference or a show or a convention, you know, this kind of thing. And so you were in front of people and met them. So today, when everybody's at home or we have a pandemic and we're Zooming and we're trying to create business through a website, the next best thing to meeting them in person is a well done video. And this survey showed that what consumers want most to learn about a new product or service is that they want a short video. And it might be a short video then a long video. Like, let's say it's a short video to introduce yourself and that you have a solution for them. So that might be a 2-minute video. But it doesn't say that you can't have a 15-minute video where now you go in the 2-minute video, look, this is what I do, but I have another video which you can find here or on my website, which describes in detail how this process works. And if you're really interested, and I only want you to watch this other video if you are really interested in solving this problem. But if you are, go to my website, which here's the link below, and then you can watch the 15-minute video, which I describe it in detail, how this works, and then how you can call me to set up how to do it. So you can have a short video, and people talk about doing short videos, and they ask, well, how long should a YouTube video be and all this stuff? It really doesn't matter that much. It's how long does it need to be to accomplish the product? So it might be an introductory video, but then you might have a long video if it needs to be long. You don't want baloney video. You don't want a long video just full of baloney that no one wants to watch. That makes no sense. All right. And that is where you will build trust. And what is the one thing we all need to cause the conversion from a customer to a client? What's the answer?
Trust. You need to trust a person to hire them.
Exactly.
Yep, she got it.
She got it. She wins the prize. Carmen wins the prize. And so traffic, you know, and you can put videos. These are all examples of videos on YouTube channels or on Facebook pages where we put videos about orthodontistry, about a flying car, about erectile dysfunction. I don't know why I put that one there, but anyway, I have a client in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, who will help you with that if you need that. And he wanted to do, we got up there to do a video, to do a whole package of videos up there. Myrtle Beach is a beautiful place to have to go work with a client. And we went up there and he's like, I want to do a video about erectile dysfunction because we have a solution for that. And I went, okay, but I don't want to see penises. Okay. Don't make me take a video of a penis. I'm going to just, I'm going to be very transparent with everybody during this webinar. Okay.
Transparent penises.
Yeah. Okay. So, so here we go. You have a plan? We've all heard this. A person with a plan is going to be somehow like 40. If you have a plan in your head, you're going to be 40% more successful. And if you have a plan written down, you're going to be 80% more successful than the person who doesn't have a plan. So you have a plan. Of course, you got to have a plan, but then you got to execute the plan. And that's really what we're talking about here is setting yourself up with a plan and then getting it done. And I just wanted to show this graph. This is a veterinary client where we started out, and you can see where we started. He had 126. Let me see where this was. This is a production graph, and I'm not sure. That might have been like 126 appointments that month. And we were running Google ads, Facebook ads. We were blogging for them once a month. We were sending out an email that went out in a newsletter with educational content for their clients. We were doing video. We SEO'd their website. And we also, when we talk about SEO, of course, you do SEO on your website, but you also want to have a well set up Google My Business page that has the right keywords for your industry. You want to have your Facebook business page set up with the right keywords for your industry. You could have a YouTube channel with the right keywords for your industry. We could have a Yelp page well put together with pictures and keywords for your industry. Depending on the industry you're in, for example, if you're a dentist, there's a website called Health Grades. Well, you want to have a Health Grades profile, right? But in your industry, there might be online like reference business listings, kind of something for your industry that talks about what you do in your industry. Well, have a profile on that business listing that has to do with that industry and have it well put together with the keywords about what you do. So if you have all these places set up, your SEO is getting put in place, so it all links back to you. And you have a link in all those different profiles across the internet that go back to your website. So you want to have your SEO in place, and then you want to have your organic social media in place. And by doing all this with this client, you can see the graph of we had a 492% increase in web traffic, 200% increase in monthly average conversions, and a 15% increase in new clients. They lost a doctor and there was COVID-19, but we still got an increase. So I think that was probably my last slide. No, this is the last slide. So it's you have a plan, you know what your purpose is and what you want to get done, and then you go at it. And you do social media, you get a website put together, you get your SEO done, so you're all over the internet. You have the right information that links back to your website about you. You can do paid ads, Google, Facebook. You can, through your Google ad account, you actually can, if you have YouTube videos, you can pay to get your YouTube video to certain geographic targeted areas and demographic targeted people. So you can actually pay for your video to be shown to the right people as well. And then you have video content on your website, sending out in newsletters and on your YouTube channel. And that's really a really perfect winning combination of factors to win online, to do those things. I hope that, I know we've probably spent 25 minutes and I'm talking really quick, but I wanted to get all this to you. And I hope some of this has helped to give you ideas of things you can do to really get going and have an effective online presence. Has this helped?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Great.
Absolutely. Yes. It's great.